All right, everyone. Welcome to this student interview. We have Dauda here who runs MCube Labs, which is an automation agency. I'm going to let him speak a bit about exactly what he does. But he's been with our incubator. I just checked. You joined in April, actually. And what I actually noticed, what was interesting, is that within a week of you joining the incubator, you had actually gotten set up and started with your license. And that's something that I say with to all students is that that's my best indicator of people who are going to be successful and are going to take this seriously is about how fast you take the action. Because like I'm saying, we're very early in this opportunity, and those who sit around, wait around, it's going to pass them by. And those who take the fast action, it's very clear that they're miles ahead of everyone else. So I'm not surprised that we're here today. You and I have gone back and forth over the last couple of months on what you've been working on, but I think it'd be fantastic to kind of share your story about where you were in April to where you are today. And I also want to congratulate you on the client that you just closed. That's kind of what sparked this conversation, but it's a huge deal. I think it was 1,500 a month, right?
Yep, 1,500 a month, and I actually closed another client for just the CRM, like someone that I'm close with, so I got them in at like $100 a month, but we're gonna build
Yeah.
on top of what they really need for. It's a restoration company.
Dude, that's fantastic. And it's just going to
Yeah,
keep
man.
steamrolling like that. It's going to keep adding up. And I mean, 1,500 a month is a $20,000 contract annually. So that's a huge thing, something to be very proud of. And so we'll get into the details of kind of how you got it, what you've offered them, but maybe if you wanted to start off with how you got started in all of this. Was it through my content or were you in this before?
Yeah, man. So I mean, it's a long story that I'll make really short, but I've been in business for myself for a while. My dad had a restaurant when I was from about age 13 to 17. He ended up losing the restaurant.
Okay.
And when I turned 18, went to college, started throwing parties, got really into using Facebook to get people to come to the events. And when that died down, which I built it up to a pretty big business, but young, spent a lot of money, just not even structured.
Yeah.
I had a bug for the digital marketing thing. So I kind of transitioned into, at that time, was like social media manager, right? And spun my wheels a lot because I was just going up to people like, hey, I used to pack out this club, so let me market your barbershop, and they're like, yeah, I don't think it works like that. So I ended up getting a business coach in let's say like 2014.
Hmm.
And
Oh,
that
so a
business
while ago. Wow.
yeah. So that business coach introduced me to another business coach in 2017, and his motto was like, "You can't take likes to the bank." And
Hmm.
he's like, no one cares how many views it has, how many likes, comments. Like, what is the bottom line bringing, to a small business? That's what they care about. So he
Yeah.
kind of showed me ManyChat and
Hmm.
using Zapier with ManyChat and being able to show like ROI, whether it's the comments, the conversations, asking how much they spent. And I've been this in restaurants since 2017, but the last year or two, I started networking, and people were like, "Oh, that's pretty cool what you do with
Yeah.
ManyChat with restaurants," or I didn't say ManyChat, like marketing with restaurants. What does that look like for my business? And I was
Hmm.
like, well, I don't know because I never did it for anything other than restaurants.
Yeah.
So that started my like path into like, okay, I can get out of just restaurants and marketing and do automations as a whole. So about I think I saw your content maybe like during April. I want to say like before March.
Okay.
And what got me interested was when you had the video with automations for real estate, and I just
Hmm.
started talking to like networking with like real estate agents on how I could work with them. So I started watching your stuff. I saw the school community. I'm
Sick.
like, okay, it's free. I might as well join. And I've been in communities before. It's very helpful. It's almost like group therapy with coaching combined. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's a lot of pluses in it. So I joined, and when you had the video about moving quick, it really resonated with me because that's been a flaw of mine in the past.
Yeah.
And I recently saw a video about Sam Walton. He started Walmart,
Hmm.
and he had a phrase where he said, "Your bank account is a reflection of your speed." So you don't have to
Wow.
be you don't have to be the smartest, the most talented, the most resources, but if you're the
Yeah.
fastest, while someone's trying to come up with a plan and market research and, come up with all these pitches, you've already
Yeah.
failed 7 times and now you know what to do to scale it. So I ran with that. And as far as these two clients, the $1,500 client was actually a client before that I had stopped working with, and I re-engaged them with some of these different things that you've talked about in the
Nice.
community and showing. And I'm like, look, it's time to change. Like you've been doing the same thing for 40 years, like like you know. And some new competitors came and they started doing some of these things that I had mentioned before. So now he's like, all right, I'm with it. I wanna try it out.
Amazing.
Them in, and then this other client, someone I networked with, she had been trying to figure out what CRM she wants to use. It's her and her husband. It's a small business. And I said, look, I don't know about the restoration industry, but I do know that if you start with this CRM, I could build on top of it. So she
Yeah.
finally came back to me. She's like, let's talk about it. And, she made her first payment for the year yesterday, yeah, last night.
Amazing. That's awesome, man.
Right.
And so what are you offering them specifically? I guess the other one, the bigger deal that you have, what are they looking for, if you can share
Yeah,
that?
so what I'm actually doing is so I'm doing a couple different things. So we're running social media ads to through the messaging when they leave a message. So
Yeah,
when they
yeah.
leave a message in the DMs, that's going to trigger the automation
Got
for
it.
them to come in and show a birthday offer.
Sick.
Yep.
Nice, man. That's huge. And you've been mentioning networking a lot. So is that part of your outreach strategy? Do you
Yeah.
like socialize? Do you go to events? Like, how does that play out?
Yeah, so the same business coach I told you about in 2017, he had first told me about like Chamber of Commerce and BNI. So I knew nothing about those things. I thought it was like government. I'm like, why would I, would I need to go there? But actually, if you find the right ones, because there are some where it's kind of cliquish. They don't let they don't really like new people, or you know what I mean. But if you find the right ones, it could be a big help. Like this client, the client that's from 1500, I was
Yeah.
introduced to him from member director of a chamber of commerce group.
Oh, wow.
So there's ones for your city, county, state, and they'll have like happy hours, they have breakfasts,
Yeah.
luncheons, workshops, and you just gotta like mingle. It's not gonna happen like right away every time you meet up, but as people get to know you, like you, and trust you, and they hear you say what you do over and over
Yeah.
again, then it's like, oh yeah, oh automations, oh you're having a problem trying to streamline this, oh I know someone named Dauda. So that's been a big help to get not the volume but really strong relationships.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And when word gets out that you're like the local expert guy in AI and automations and you can do this stuff, then naturally you're going to see them just flock to you because everybody wants this inherently anyway. So I've been
Yeah,
noticing that with myself and other students as well, especially if you live in like a small town where it's like it's not a major city and you're that go-to guy, businesses will just come to you. It's crazy.
yeah, I definitely switched up. Like I used to say, digital marketing and all that, and all this time I've been using like ManyChat automations and
Yeah.
Zapier, but just saying AI automation marketing or AI automation, like people are like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
It just triggers something in their brains.
Right.
Yeah. And do you consider yourself to be like a technical person? Like before you got into this, was there any roadblocks with the technology and like learning this stuff, or was it relatively simple?
Yeah, I'm a pretty techie person, man. Like I remember I started an eBay store a long time ago, like fresh out of high school. I remember like looking up how to do SEO. Like at that time, like all you had to do was have like three keywords in a headline and you're like number one on Google. But yeah, I've always been a techie person, man. Video games as a kid, trying to figure things out, take things apart. So yeah, I've always been that kind of person.
Amazing, man. And where are you looking to take this into the future? Do you have any goals or like milestones that you want to achieve? Anything in the pipeline?
Yeah, a big thing for me is retiring my mom.
I love
Uh,
that.
yeah, my father recently passed last year.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thanks, man. And so now it's like, you kind of see the reality of like what her life is gonna be like, and she's a very strong person too, but she's not necessarily business savvy. So my biggest goal right now is to retire her, so she can
Amazing,
have
man.
that time freedom and kind of enjoy the rest of her life how she wants to enjoy it, without my dad here. So
Yeah,
that's a big, big thing.
absolutely, man. I hope you can achieve that based on
Thank
everything that I've seen so far. Like you've got all the right characteristics and you're putting in the work, so I don't see why this is not going to work. To me, I feel like success is inevitable for a lot of people, and I felt that about myself, and I try and identify that in others. And I use these little markers like the fast action and people asking the right questions and not being able to ask for support and stuff. I use those as markers to indicate, okay, who is serious about this, who has the potential, and who's actually going to do very well. And there's a small subset of
you.
people in my incubator that I see that for. You're definitely one of them. That's why I wanted to have this call, and really
Appreciate
looking
that,
forward to
man.
seeing where you take this, man. It's amazing.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
And the last thing is, there's a lot of people who might be watching this in the incubator. So I have around 13,000 students now. A lot of them, are on the fence still. They're a bit nervous about jumping into it. You've made that jump. Now you're on the other side of it. You're seeing that success. Do you have any words of advice or wisdom for them to maybe take the plunge, take the risk on themselves, see this as a viable option that they might be afraid of?
Yeah. I mean, the first thing I would say is, you waste $100, $200 every month anyway. I'm pretty sure you can find
Yeah,
$200 wasted. That's number one. Number two is, I think with your style of the modules and the content, it's like it's amazingly simple for as much technical, savvy that
yeah,
people might think they need. And I think for me, communication is a big thing. And when you see someone that's willing to not only give the information, streamline it simply in a simple way, but also like be there to help. Like, I mean, like the last time we chatted, I mean, it was like I don't know what time it was for you. I don't know where you are right now,
yeah,
but I mean, it was almost like 1 o'clock for me. I'm like, man, this dude is still responding back to my message.
yeah,
So you don't get that everywhere. I've definitely been in communities where, for a lot more money, like $1,000, where you get no support. You get
yeah.
no response. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. If unless you're like gonna be homeless, take the leap. Is definitely a wonderful thing to do. And if you're already looking at it, you probably need to be in it anyway, because it's not the most widely, even though it
No,
is like popular mainstream, but as far as doing it and creating, it's not the most
exactly.
widespread thing. So
A very
that's
small percentage of those 13,000 have actually taken action. And I just want to
mm,
inspire and get the others to start, get off their asses and do something about it because you're going to
wow.
watch it just pass you by. And it's sad for me to see. And like you're saying, I could take the other route that other people do and restrict access to myself and not help and make myself available. But that's just not who I am. Like, I'll be there at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., answer your questions because I'm directly invested in your success. So we can, succeed together. I benefit from these things as well. So that's the way that I've structured it. It's working very well, but it just makes me sad to see people not take advantage of it because I've made it so simple in my opinion, with the licensing model. Everything is pre-built for you. It's cheap to get started. The modules are simple. I tried my best. Some people I think just are never going to be the kind of people to be where you and I are. But to the people who have that potential, I hope you guys take action, and hopefully we'll be doing a call like me and Dauda are doing right now.
Yes, sir.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you taking the time talking with me. I think your story is inspirational to a lot of people. I think your goal is also very commendable. I think people can relate to that, especially to support their parents, especially with what's happening right now in the world. So
Yeah.
this is a great path to financial freedom, guys. Highly suggest you put in the work. If not, keep watching these interviews and hope that it was you.
Right. I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot for everything.
No worries, brother. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that interview. He's doing fantastic with his agency. That's a $20,000 contract that he's closed. And it's just the beginning. He's obviously going to close a lot more. So if you want to get in on this action and you want to start building an agency and you want to start doing well with automations, then follow in his footsteps. Listen to the advice that he gave because it's the same advice that I give. Everything is about speed and fast action. And people might think that that's cliche, but the results are there. It's very evident that from when he signed up to when he got started, I knew that he was going to be a fast actor and get the results that he's now gotten 3-4 months later. And if you want that to be yourself, you got to get off your ass. You got to start putting some action in there. So if you're serious about this, if you waited till this point in the video, then DM me on school the words "I'm in" to show me that you made it this far, that you're serious about this and you want to get started, then I can guide you one-on-one and give you that help that you might need. I'll see you there.